Good day, everybody. Good day and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Living Life in Joy. I am Rev Melissa, and I am just so thrilled to be with you all today. This show is pre-recorded, but it's all good. You can still leave comments, questions, shout outs. Please write what it is that you want to know about today's guest also. And we'll come back and put in the information afterwards. But so feel free. So I am excited because we are in the month of October, y'all. And y'all know this is my month. October is my month. And so I have decided that October's theme is unity. Unity. That's what we're talking about all month long. And so we kicked off the month with a wonderful artist. Oh, she's so many things. Songwriter, Lisa Coffey. Please check her out at souldivine.com. She has released a double album all about the Gita, and it is extraordinary. So you want to check that out. And then last Sunday, Sekou was the guest host, and his guest was Judah Bernard. So if you missed last Sunday's, you have to watch the replay, okay? And like I said, we're all in the theme of unity. And so Living Life in Joy is a vehicle for people to express and share what it is that connects them to their yes. And so today's guest is an incredible advocate for the unhoused, for the homeless. And this is what connects her to her yes. But I'm going to let her tell you all about that. So let's get ready. Let's go, set, ready. All right. So I want to share my next guest's bio. And she has accomplished a lot. And so what I'm putting up right now for you to check out is also her Instagram. So you can follow her on Instagram, but we'll get to that also. So her name is Ramona Curtis. Ramona is the founder and lead organizer of Unhoused St. Louis, an all-volunteer, 100% community-funded grassroots organization focused on advocacy and service to the unhoused and housing insecure communities in St. Louis. Ramona is a former newspaper reporter and current marketing writer who developed a social media campaign to create awareness about homelessness and dispel misinformation about people experiencing homelessness. She sought to use her storytelling skills to humanize the people that others choose to make invisible. Through her efforts, St. Louis activists and community members came together to work on solutions to address the immediate needs of people living outside. The results was the formation of outreach teams that take food, hygiene kits, and other supplies directly to the unhoused community, as well as community monthly giveaway events at 2 locations. Embracing the principle that housing is a human right, Unhoused St. Louis moves in the philosophy of unity. So without further ado, please help me welcome to Living Life in Joy, Ramona Curtis. Lewis. Hey, Ramona.
Hello. Thank you for that warm introduction. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for your presence on the show. Thank you so much. So we want to get right into it, Ramona, because you are clearly on a mission.
I am. I don't really have much of a choice. It was not a chosen mission. It was, there's a need, and we are here to help fulfill it.
Okay. So part of what we do here on Living Life in Joy is what I call Won't He Do It? So what is your testimony that led you to say yes to this work?
Yeah. I love the fact that your theme is unity this month because that really is what propelled me into action. So when I think about won't he do it, I think about community and the spirit of community, the collective,
Mm,
because I was just one person who cared about this issue and decided that I would start trying to raise awareness about it through social media.
mhm,
I had no intentions of being an activist. As a former journalist, we're trained to always be in the background.
mm,
So I spent 20 years just being in the background, documenting stories, but not being the part of the story,
mhm,
telling other people's stories, but not really being engaged in the story. So um, as an individual, I decided that I would start sharing this information, but it was the collective, it was the unity of other people coming together to change that educational campaign into actual activism.
mm.
So when I think about won't he do it? Well, he got me off my butt, you know, into
Yes.
action, into the community. And that's great. It's been a great experience.
Yes. So I know, part of part of what's important about the work that you're doing is we're not talking about a luxury here. We're talking about a human right,
Mhm.
right? As you say, housing is a human right.
Right.
And so what are you doing around the advocacy work?
Sure. So one of the things that's difficult is that what unhoused people really need is housing. We can provide services. We can make sure that they eat every day and they have water and clothing and temporary shelter. And that's what we do. We provide direct relief for basic necessities.
Hmm.
We go out into the community and we make sure that people have food and water. We have monthly giveaways, and we're going to be actually doing twice a month giveaways beginning in January, where we give away fresh sandwiches, fresh fruit, snack kits that you can take with you, hygiene kits, um, socks, underwear, and we also provide resources for community members.
Hmm.
We also had health screening, blood pressure checks, things like that. So we were having a community fair for not only unhoused people but underserved people.
Hmm. And so you said that's starting in January. So
Well,
if folks wanted to contribute, how would they do that?
sure. Well, right now we do have our monthly giveaways. We call them
Okay.
the third Sunday shares.
Mm,
So every third Sunday, and we do that because we want our unhoused neighbors to have a consistent date. It's not always easy to say, this particular day, but if you can think, oh, it's the third Sunday of the month. So
hmm.
it's time for us to go down. We are in a parking lot, a corner parking lot that's big enough for us to be able to have tables and canopies and providers and services.
Hmm.
So the third Sunday of every month, we do a community giveaway.
Mm,
Throughout the month, we go downtown, we go to North City, North County, and South City, where
hmm.
we've identified groups of people that are experiencing homelessness.
Hmm.
And we provide water, especially during this current heat wave that was out here in St. Louis.
Hmm.
We provided cold water, sandwiches, snack kits, hygiene kits,
Hmm.
a little fellowship, a little community spirit, a little letting people know that somebody cares. And that
Yeah.
goes a long way.
Yes.
Really just a recognition of their humanity goes a long way. Even if it's just handing someone a bottle of water and saying, I see you. I see you're thirsty,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That's so important. And you use storytelling to get the word out also. How are you incorporating that into the work and the advocacy?
Yeah, that's one thing that we've been really excited to see happening, that people are just responding. First of all, it was exciting to know that people wanted this information, that they were interested, that they were curious about what's going on with the homeless community.
Hmm.
And then we found that when we start telling stories, when we start letting people know that these human beings are just like you, they're your neighbor, and here's what their experience is. That was how we were connecting with people. That's how we were drawing people in. That's how people were becoming interested in what was going on. It was simply just by humanizing these people.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you said, Ramona, is so key about being seen.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that really was what started this whole thing, was seeing people not only ignoring unhoused people. You know, out here we have certain intersections. Oh, I see your kitty.
yes.
I have one too. I hope it doesn't pop up. But it's nice to know that you're cat friendly. But anyway.
That's Davy.
So I'm sorry, what was the question? I think
I know we got distracted by Davy about being seen.
Oh yeah. So, you know, that was really what kind of propelled us to do this social media page. There are certain intersections that have long stoplights here in St. Louis. So you will find that that's where you may find people panhandling, because it gives them a minute to actually have people that are stopping at a light.
Right.
And I found so many people ignoring those people, you know. And then I started seeing the hostility where people were saying those people don't need that. And what really happened for me, honestly, is that in 2015, when I separated from my husband, I actually experienced 2 weeks of living in my car, where I did not have a place to sleep. I did not have a place to shower. I was a college degree professional with a career while this was happening to me. That impacted me.
Yeah.
That taught me that those people are me, that I'm that person. I remember one day not having any money, literally, not even being able to afford a McDonald's cheeseburger. But I was going to my work, my office, and I was hanging out with my coworkers, and I wasn't saying a word to them. And I went to lunch that day, and I was so hungry. And I saw somebody standing at the corner panhandling. And I remember thinking, I should go do that because I'm so hungry. I should go. If I stand there for a minute and get $1, I can buy a McDonald's hamburger.
Wow.
And in that moment, coming from my professional office job and about to go back to my professional office job, but in that moment, realizing I was so hungry, I was willing to stand in that corner and ask a stranger for help, because it was easier than asking my coworker, than admitting to them I'm hungry. In that moment, I knew that homelessness impacts everybody, that anybody is one paycheck away from being unhoused, and this was unacceptable.
And there's still people who are experiencing the story that you just shared, employed and unhoused.
Many.
You
know, I think there's a statistic that half of unhoused people are actually employed. You know, the unhoused, the face of the unhoused is not that bum that's on the corner. That's the visible one. But if you are a single mom living in your mother's basement temporarily, if you're camping out on your cousin's couch, if you're temporarily staying with your friend, if you don't have a lease with your name on it, you are legally unhoused. And you're getting up and you're going to work, but you're wondering where you're going to sleep that night, you know?
Right.
And then there are people that are literally living outside. We have huge tent encampments in almost every major city in America. People are making the choice to live in tents. When I say making the choice, what I mean is that, yes, there are structures, emergency shelters that cities provide. Sometimes those are not the safest places, especially if you are LGBTQ. There is a huge LGBTQ unhoused population. I think it's 10 times more likely to be homeless if you're LGBTQ. Many shelters are not welcoming to that population.
Right.
So you'll find a lot of people living in tents. You'll find a lot right now with the eviction crisis, which is really important to talk about. So I want to say really quickly that right now we have an eviction crisis. Our congressman from St. Louis, Cori Bush, has been the one that's been most vocal about it nationally.
Mm-hmm.
She's been trying to get laws in to stop the eviction courts. The eviction courts opened last month. We're going to start seeing people that look just like me and you. We're going to start seeing our neighbors pushing shopping carts around.
Right.
I have a storage unit at the U-Haul. There's a community of people that live in storage units at the U-Haul. There's a lady who has a nice newer model car that goes to work every day, and she leaves her storage unit up about just this much, and she goes in that steel box, and that's where she lives.
Mm.
We're going to start seeing more of that. People that look just like me and you.
Yeah.
Our neighbors, our coworkers that are going to be unhoused because this system is not set up to support the crisis that happened as a result of the COVID pandemic.
Right.
As we all know, so many people lost their jobs. There was an eviction moratorium. What that meant was your rent isn't forgiven.
Right.
It just meant that 15 months of rent, it's due now.
Right.
Well, if I didn't have it in the past 15 months, I definitely don't have it now.
Right. And all of it now.
Right. So I'm being forced to go to eviction court, telling people, no, I don't have it. And since the moratorium is gone, those judges are saying, you got to go. Those sheriffs are coming and getting me, and I'm out on the streets.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a second element to that. We don't have housing, and we don't have service providers to provide services. But even when we provide services, we don't have affordable housing.
Right.
The country has billions of dollars now through what's called ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act money. It's an infusion of cash that Biden brought to us so that we can figure out how to get past COVID. Billions of dollars literally are being invested into homelessness services. I have yet to see one proposal where they're talking about housing.
Right.
They're talking about reentry, rapid housing, emergency shelters, training, job training, providing food and clothing. They're talking about a lot of services, but we're not building houses. We're not using existing houses. The only thing that's going to solve homelessness is homes.
Is a home. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. The only thing that's going to solve homelessness is a home. So why aren't the resources being directed to that? Because that is the solution. That's the ultimate solution.
It's expensive. We don't want to spend money on poor people.
Exactly. Exactly.
We collectively as a society decided that they were others, right? They were bums, they were addicts, they were people that didn't want to work. When we collectively as a society decided to other these people, we gave up on them.
Yes.
And decided we were not going to do for them.
Yes.
And we don't do for them.
Yes. And
to do for them would cost a lot of money. And we can't even commit to the bare minimum.
Well,
I just have to say real quick, people say, well, what can I do? And I say, get angry. Say it's unacceptable. Really. Until we collectively, as a society, say that this is unacceptable, how we treat human beings is unacceptable, we're not going to solve this problem.
Yes. Yes. And, Lisa, I'm so glad that you're with me as we're talking about unity, because in unity, there are no others, right? We're all one. We're all one. We see each other, we care for each other, and we do what is necessary to ensure that each one has what they need.
Right.
right? And we're talking about something basic here: housing,
Yeah.
shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not even making sure that people have food and water.
Girl.
You
Well,
know.
the work that you are doing, Unhoused St. Louis, is important.
Thank you.
And anyone that is listening to this and feels a pull to do something, do it. Do it. And so, how would they be in touch with you, Ramona, if they want to specifically support your efforts?
Sure. I want to answer your question, but the first thing I really have to say is people say, how can I help? And I really want to say, please stop looking away. You can personally, if there's nothing else that you can do, stop looking away. That's the first step everybody can take.
Yeah.
How you can help me, my organization, we're Unhoused STL. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We also have a website, unhousedstl.org.
Mm-hmm.
My email is unhousedstl@gmail.com. We also have a Venmo and a Cash App where we gladly welcome donations. Our Venmo is @unhousedstl. Our Cash App is $unhousedstl. You Google Unhoused STL, you're going to find me. Okay.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So there's no getting around finding Ramona and Unhoused STL. And Ramona, I want folks to know that the Congregation of Joy is one of the supporters of the Unhoused ministry through the Hero Ministry.
Yes.
And so our Congregation of Joy is with you, supporting you,
and we have
praying for you.
We have felt your tangible support through the Hero program.
Yes.
We have been blessed with tangible monetary support from you guys.
Yes.
And we thank you and Sekou. So
yes.
Thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. And stay encouraged. Stay encouraged, because I feel the passion and the purpose in this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. 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 So let's move into our second segment. Well, I have some joy questions for you. Okay. So I say, well, let me do the first one first. What does joy feel or look like for you?
Yeah. I try to find joy in every little thing. I'm hugely into nature. So I can just take my dog for a walk and I feel just the joy of knowing that sun is going to come up every day. That's joyful.
Yes.
Just knowing that. Now, it might not come up for me, but it's going to come up for somebody.
Yes. I love that. Okay, here's the second question. I say I'm living life in joy. Yeah. What are you living life in?
I think right now I'm living life in service. And it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Well, your whole conversation speaks to that. Speaks to the service that you're doing. And the last question is, what is your joy song?
There's a chant, a Buddhist chant. I am Buddhist, and it is called the Sublime Attitude. And the main chant is, may all living beings be happy. Basically what it says is, if I want happiness for myself, I have to expect it for others, even people that have done me wrong, even people that I don't think deserve happiness. Happiness is, an energy that flows. If it's going to flow to me, it's got to flow to others. So I listen to this chant where it says, may all living beings, may I be happy. May I be at peace. May all living beings be happy. All living beings be at peace. It's a chant I listen to every morning when I do my yoga, which is also a source of joy for me. Yes. It gets me grounded. It gets me ready to go.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that spiritual practice. Well, Ramona, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for the message. So we have work to do. We have work to do. And if you didn't know it before, you certainly know it now. So let's not act like we don't know any longer. So please support @unhoused STL. Check her out at Instagram. Ramona, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was an honor to meet you and to put a face to the work.
Yeah.
To put a face to the work.
Thank you. This has been a source of joy. Thank you so much. It's been great to meet you, and thank you for this opportunity.
You're very welcome. All right, folks, there you have it. Ramona Curtis doing the work, certainly connected to her yes, and certainly in the vibration of unity. So if you've been moved by this, please give. You know what to do, and you know how to do it. So just to wrap up the show, I want to share our joy quote. So our joy quote for today, and I think this is perfect. I had a different quote. Where am I? I had a different quote, and then I saw this one, and I said, no, this is the one for today. Unity, it starts with you. It starts with you, right? It starts with each one of us. And it starts with just what Ramona said. Let's just see each other. Let's just acknowledge each other's existence. How about that, right? So I know for myself, I can be guilty of this. In my car, coming to an intersection, coming to, a red light to stop, and I will see people panhandling, asking for money. And sometimes, not all the time, I think over time, this has shifted greatly for me. But there was a time when most of the time, my reaction would be to turn the other way, make sure my doors are locked, roll up the window if the window is down, But if we change positions, right? Change positions, how would I feel if that was someone's response when they saw me, right? That's not unity. Each one of us is a reflection of the other. And so the only way that we can start to shift this is if we start to see each other and truly see each other as God sees us, as love sees us. All right? All right. So thank you all for being with me today for Living Life in Joy. Please remember to join me tomorrow for Sip with Rev Melissa, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Save the date. It's coming up really quick. Our next meditation with the moon, and it's the full moon on October 20th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. And then after that, we have producer got up the old one, October 6th. So that was the new moon. That already happened. The next one is October 20th, the full moon. This is what happens when you do pre-recording, y'all. The next one is October 20th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And afterwards, we get together on Zoom just to be with each other, share the experience, and do some fellowship. So please join me for that. And right after the show today, the Living Life in Joy show, join me for Sunday in Praise at Rockland CSL at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Zoom. You can go to Rockland CSL and click on the link, or you can watch us on our Facebook page. So peace and blessings, everybody. Davey was determined to be in today's show. There he is, y'all. That's Davey the cat, determined to be in the show today. So peace and blessings, peace and justice, everybody. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.